I've been put in an interesting position because I know the point of gang stalking is to get me to lash out, which they have in the past. Um, but mostly it was my research, not them. I can't really give them full credit for that because I was in a rage just knowing what they do. And them doing it to me wasn't really a determinant. It was just part of what had me pissed off and yelling. I probably would have yelled about what I want to do to the government anyway. Not to mention all my broken hearts. So they wanted to get me to lash out. They wanted to get me to commit suicide, lose my job, be homeless, things of this nature, okay? Which is probably where I may be headed anyway, if I kept on this path without them doing anything. So they spend a lot of money. I heard that the tactic was developed by the Ku Klux Klan, and I believe it's more like developed by the Freemasons, more likely developed by the Freemasons, and the Ku Klux Klan took it from them. I've also heard that the Ku Klux Klan's true purpose was to keep blacks out of Freemasonry, which is the main thread, the main institution, if you will, that controls the system. So to keep blacks out of Masonry means to keep blacks out of power and to keep them from having a fair shake. Unless you have Prince Hall Masons and you have Boule and you have these different groups where, because blacks, even though there's some exceptions, overall have trouble to this day getting into the Masonry. So, to fight back is what they want. They just don't want it done to them. So I can't stress this enough. When you ride for me, my brothers, don't make it against some random people, It has to be against powerful people. There's no two ways about it. Believe me, I hate the people who are doing this to me almost as much as I hate the powerful people. But they're expendable. They're part of the plan, Get you to act up. Get you to take it out on these low-level minions, who are replaceable anyway. What they can't bear is the thought of you taking out these people who are supposed to be above violence, above the law, above being checked and challenged and addressed. So, you have to understand, too, that in all these institutions, all these groups, there are people that mean well. There's police officers that mean well believe me, as much as I hate to say, believe me, when I said that my stomach turned, but, it's true. There's FBI agents and soldiers that mean well. There's people at higher institutions, obviously, that mean well. And so, it pains me, in a way, to call out these groups and these people, because I know that there's people who get carried away and the innocent will suffer. So I really want to get to the root cause. I want to get to the cancer itself. I don't want to just give you medicine so you feel better. I want to remove the cancer from society, from you, all. I didn't put my life on the line and get abused in all kinds of unspeakable ways just so these scumbags could keep on winning. You've got to be kidding me. I did this so that you could win, so that you all could have a future, so that your children will have a future. I won't have any children. Unless God comes down and says it's okay, something similar, I'm not doing this for me nor my children. I'm doing this for all of you. And it truly disgusts me to know that many of you watching this right at this moment, well, at the moment you watch it, are in the process of betraying me when I'm doing it for you. And you just don't see it because I'm black, because I'm angry, because I dress like a thug maybe, because of my Pan-African flag or my Biafran flag, because I'm a Muslim. Whatever the reason, you're not going to truly appreciate how evil it is to betray me, how much of a Judas you are. And I don't, in a way, I almost don't blame you, because I've had friends and family betray me. I've had people who sell me out to the system, which the whole world knows is evil. But the people say, well, we just want to go along to get along. We'll use these wicked people to get you to fall in line with us. Whether it was my parents and their expectations, whether it was my friends who were always competing with me in a way, whether it was, perhaps my older brother. My little brother, I don't really see him as competing with me as much. He's more just trying to live his life. He's trying to do his thing. Nobody else is a Muslim but me, you know. My family and I don't see eye to eye on many things. There's some things we do see eye to eye. When it comes to my videos, you know, they don't want me making videos. I'll tell you that right now. It disgusts them, the fact that I make videos. I've had many conversations with them. It disgusts them. They wish I would stop. They probably are part of a conspiracy to get me to stop. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Okay? I'm pretty sure that most of them, they knew I was Muslim. They'd be disgusted by that too. And the other day I saw a magazine at my parents' house on the kitchen table, and it was portraying a Muslim guy, you know, and it was about the Charlie Hebdo thing. And most of you have been watching this channel. The video that has the most views, I believe, in the last couple months, maybe in the last year, maybe more than that, was my Charlie Hebdo video. So that's probably the video that got back to them, and yet there it was on the counter, you know? Like a slap in the face. Like, we don't agree with you, and we're going to do this for Big Brother because we stand in solidarity with democracy and your right to insult the type of people that you shouldn't insult. The type of people who are the most devout when it comes to believing in God. Name anything that Christians have ever done that is as devout as Muslims who give their lives in service of what they believe is the will of Allah. Whether you see it is right or wrong, whether you're a Muslim or not, whether you agree with them or not, that is what they're doing. That is faith at its finest. Cruel or not, right or not, that is faith at its finest. Principle, and I applaud you all. When you believe that you're serving God with all your heart, I applaud you, regardless of what religion you are. Because that's what you're supposed to do. When I said I'm doing this for you and your children, you know, that's part of it. But ultimately, I'm doing this for God because God said that is the right thing to do this for them. God inspired me. Without God, I would be just another wicked wreck. Wicked wretch as well. So, yes, I'm being gang-stalked. Yes, I was most likely, more than likely, abused by homosexuals in a drug-induced state. In places where nobody would believe me. They use their positions of power to abuse me. And they laugh about it. And they joke with their friends like, oh, he's such a homophobic, but we got over on that homophobic, you know, religious fanatic. That to them, that's what a man who serves Allah is a homophobic religious fanatic to a bunch of kuffar scum. And that's all right. Because I have bigger fish to fry. And if you have been paying attention, so do you. I'm sure there's plenty of cops who would love just to handcuff all the Satanist scum, but their hands are tied, so to speak, because they know that if they try, they'll be the targeted individual, the TI, if you will. They'll be the ones who lose their job. They'll be the ones on a direction, on a path toward poverty, misery, psychological torture. You see, I put myself, my family, my friends in jeopardy, so to speak, and in a response to protect themselves, if you will. They turned on me. They said, no, we have nothing to do with this. We'll help you. We'll help you hold him down. Just leave us out of it. And believe it or not, I believe that the New World Order still cracked down on them, if you ask me. Even though they sold me out, they still turned on them and said, well, you know, we can't risk them, you know, having some sympathy at any point, so let's just cripple them all. Don't you see how far I've went with this? Don't you see how I've persevered for what is right? There was once a saying from a movie that's quoted by Ike, and I'm not a big David Icke fan, believe me, but there's some things he says that are true. Not the reptilian bit, but there's some things where he says, you know, you wouldn't believe how much money they spend to silence people who put their life on the line to fight for change. And that's absolutely, absolutely what they do. That's what all nations have done all throughout history. You know, off with their head. You know, put them in a concentration camp. Put them in a psychiatric ward, an institution. Put them in the prison. Throw them in the dungeon. That's what they've done all throughout history. Are any of you surprised that the guy who made between 3,000 and 4,000 videos on YouTube talking about the secret society behind the government is being persecuted for his political views? Thank you.